After 90 minutes at BMO Field, it's Toronto FC 3, Real Salt Lake 1. A few talking points coming out of this one. Some individual performances. Ashton Morgan receiving praise post-game for his first game at BMO Field in a long time. The longtime TFC player, really in reserve to Justin Morrow these days, comes in, he does everything he's asked. Very sound defensively, but also in the attacking end. You saw him overlapping more, getting some dangerous crosses in. So he's actually an option next week for the Champions League game against Club America if Justin Morrow can't come back. Nico Hasler, I thought he had a very quiet but good performance in midfield. Completed all but 4 of his passes, roughly a 90% pass completion rate. Very good. Just worked both sides of the ball well, connected things. And he's the 4th or 5th really center midfielder right now in terms of TFC's pecking order. With Victor Vasquez out, he comes in and does a nice job in that flat 4-4-2, which really suits him on the right side. Of course, Jozy Altidore playing big again, getting the brace. But I want to point to the PK where he steps up after Sebastian Giovinco squanders his attempt. A lot of courage to do that, hits it with pace, goes to the same side Giovinco did, and of course Ramondo stays in the middle and he converts it. I talked to Greg Vanny a little bit post-game about Giovinco and his game. For me, Giovinco's probably the best player out there on the night. He probably could have had 2 goals, 3 or 4 assists. He sets up Altidore's penalty. He sets up Altidore's second goal with that through ball to Ashton Morgan, but he squanders the penalty. And I asked Greg, I pulled him aside post-game, and just said if he plans on talking to Giovinco about mixing it up. He already has before, but there's some real questions here about whether or not Sebastian Giovinco should be taking penalties for this team. I think if Victor Vasquez is in the game, he probably steps up, and of course now Jozy's showing that he can convert them. Sebastian Giovinco, while spectacular on the night, some questions loom over his ability to step to the spot and convert from there. Still, TFC's going to take a lot of confidence from this one. They were comfortable. 3-1 win. They needed it. They're first on the season. With Club America coming in next week, they're going to like how they played tonight and feel comfortable going into that first leg where they need a result, because going down to Azteca is going to be difficult. From the Toronto Sun, I'm Kurt Larson.